Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie. In this video we're going to be doing the last first impression for September. I did manage to get all of the makeup products. It is the 16th of September as when I'm filming this today, so hopefully I should be able to get this uploaded before the end of the month. Very random selection of products. I've got some of the Topshop beauty products. I managed to get the Coty Airspun powder, you know, the one that everyone goes on about. Got a few Revolution things. I've got a Flower Beauty highlighter, Maybelline eyeliner, Gosh mascara. And what I'm going to do is start with the concealer. I just want to test this out on my eye area. It does help that we've got some quite nice bags today because I'm a little bit under the weather. I think I've got an ear infection or something because I've just not been feeling great for a while. But this is the Topshop Longwear Liquid Concealer. It's in the shade Oat, and from first impressions looking at the shade, it did look like it was going to be pale enough, so that's good. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's going to be quite good for my fair skin tone, so that's great. So I'm just going to zoom into my eye area. So there we are. Can you see my nice bags? Like, I just feel like they don't look great today. And the usual veiny eyelids. So let's just pop this on in my eye area. I'll just put it on one eye and then show you it side by side with concealer and no concealer. And then we'll judge how well I think it covers. Ooh, it feels like it's so like smooth and lightweight to glide on, but it's not like super thin either. Yeah, shade looks like it's going to be pretty good. I don't think I can like brighten with it or anything, but I feel like it matches my overall skin tone. I feel like when Topshop like kind of relaunched their beauty, I did watch a few like videos at the time, but I've not really heard anything recently about them. So I kind of just wanted to see for myself. I've just got the foundation, the concealer, and then an eyebrow gel from them to try out. I kind of wanted to buy more, but then at the same time it is like quite expensive, considering I guess it's considered like drugstore. I feel like it's got a bit of a price in there. There we go, that's blended out really nicely. I think that there is some pretty decent coverage there. They're just side by side. Do I think it's super duper full coverage? No, but I actually do think that has got quite a decent amount of coverage. I feel like it's blanked out my veins quite a lot. It's covered that bag quite a lot. I can still slightly see it, but really not a lot at all. So I'm actually quite impressed with that. What do you think? Side by side. Close my eyes. Open my eyes. What do you think? Coverage? Do you think that's good coverage? I think it's good coverage. I don't think it's full coverage, but I think it's good coverage, definitely. It doesn't seem overly dry or anything like that. It does obviously sit in my lines. All concealers do. I think it's just because I have quite like deep set eyes, so I just have prominent lines anyway. Impressions are like that. I think it will look nicer over the top of foundation as well, but I'm happy with that. It's certainly not full coverage, but it's pretty close, like a high medium I would say. So I'm going to do one eyeshadow look off camera just as I normally do and then repeat it on the other eye. But I did get another final Revolution palette. I've done 3 palettes this month. But this one is the I Heart Revolution Turkish Delight palette, which I think is one of the more newer ones. Stunning packaging again. And like, oh my god, just look at these colours. Like, does this palette not look just like amazing? It has got some pressed glitters in here, so if I want to use those, I will probably have to use some sort of glitter glue or something with them. I'm not really too experienced with using pressed glitters. I've tried a couple before. So there's like 4 pressed glitter shades, then there's quite a lot of mattes and then quite a lot of shimmers as well, so there's a very like kind of equal distribution. But the shades look absolutely stunning, but I mean, I don't really know what sort of look I should do to like display these colours because they're just so kind of random. Anyway, I'm going to figure that out off camera and I'll be back with one eye done. Okay, so this is our eyeshadow look. So let's try and repeat it. Started by using this just light pale pink called Candy, just as a starting point. It's just going above the crease. Then I'm using the darker pink called Roses. This one here is a matte shade. And that's going underneath. Then I'm using the shade called Pomegranate, which is more of a purpley pink sort of colour. It's got a bit of shimmer in it as well. I'm just packing that on directly in the crease with a smudgier styled brush. Okay, and then I'm blending that out. Now I'm using the Topshop concealer and I'm going to cut my crease with that. I'm using this like pale pink shimmer called Rose Water here, and that's going in like the inner kind of 2/3 of where I've just cut the crease. Then in the outer part I'm going in with a kind of neon yellowy green sort of colour. It's a shimmer called Pistachio, and so really impressed with this one. Shows up super well, which I feel like I often have problems with like neon colours showing up well, but that one's going in the outer third. Okay, now I'm using a bit of my NYX glitter primer. I'm just getting it on a brush and it's just going kind of again in the inner 2/3. I'm then getting the shade called Exquisite, which is this like silvery pink shimmer. It's absolutely stunning, and that's going over where I put the glitter, and I was really impressed with this. I thought I might have issues with it like not picking up on the brush well, but it seems to go on pretty well. It's not like too tightly pressed in the pan where like it doesn't come out, but you do need to work with it a little bit. So that goes on so easily. I kind of thought like that might be a bit of a faff, having like pressed glitter in it, but I feel like it just goes on really like easily. All you need is like a little bit of glitter glue or glitter primer or something like that. And I'm using neon yellow just to blend the outer part of that. So yeah, I have to say I am actually really impressed with the shades that I've used so far from this palette. I think like this is probably, of the 2 other videos I filmed, this is probably my favourite look. So I am actually happy with the quality, but obviously there's more shades that I need to try. But I feel like I was a bit worried about the pressed glitters. But I feel like that was really easy to use and not a faff at all. So, and like it looks absolutely stunning, so that's fine. So I'm going to use a little bit of the shade called Squidge, which is like a matte sort of cream colour. I would personally prefer this to be a little bit paler, but I'm going to layer up a bit of Delicacy over that as well, which is more shimmery. But again, I think I would rather both of those be a bit lighter, just so I have got something to use under my brow bone, because it is nice when you've got those shades in the palette instead of having to, you know, go find another palette or single or whatever to like complete your eyeshadow look, but these would do. Yeah, I'm really happy with the eyeshadow actually. I think this is probably my favourite of the 3 Revolution palettes we've tried this month. The other 2 I tried was the avocado one and then the rainbow sprinkles one. I think this is probably my favourite out of the bunch. Then I'd say the rainbow sprinkles one, then the avocado one, which I had a few issues with, but I'm happy with this and got loads more colours to play around with, so off to a good start with this video. So I didn't have a kohl liner for the waterline to try, so I'm just putting in a little bit of this Carter Beauty pencil eyeliner, just throwing this in my waterline. So I do actually have a new liquid eyeliner to try out. So this is the Maybelline Tattoo Liner Liquid Ink in the shade Black/Noir, and I have tried the like pencil version of the tattoo liner and I really like that. So I figured when I saw this on Superdrug I might as well try the liquid version as well. I don't buy liquid liners too often just because I go through phases of really liking them and phases of not using them, but I figured it was about time I got a new one. The last ones that I tried were the bourgeois ones that I quite liked, so it's time to try a new one out. It's like this, fairly standard kind of liquid liner. Obviously it's not a felt tip, it's a dip one, and I can just guarantee you right now that I'm not going to pull this off. But right, let's have a go. What have I done? God's sake, I've ruined my lovely eyeshadow look by applying this liquid liner absolutely dreadfully. I'm just going to leave it alone because it's just going to get worse the more that I touch it. And it's all in my lashes now, so I'm going to have to get that out of my lashes before I put the mascara on. Does anyone else feel like when you get your liquid eyeliner in your eyelashes, it just makes your mascara like super clumpy and it's just not not good, so I need to remove that. So I'm not sure how I feel about that liquid liner. I've applied it dreadfully. I don't know if that's down to me being incompetent or if it's perhaps not the easiest eyeliner to use. I mean, it is pretty opaque and thick. The colour payoff is pretty good. I need some more practice with that, I think, so I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one. But colour payoff's pretty good. Very black and intense, certainly. The mascara that I've brought is the Gosh Catchy Eyes Curve Length Definition Mascara, which comes in this nice pink tube. I think it came on Superdrug a couple months ago. I wanted to try it. It's got a very like Maybelline lash sensational type of one. It's got a nice curve in it. So shall we give this a go? My experience with Gosh mascaras is very hit and miss. I've tried some really not so great ones, and I've tried some really nice ones. So it's just very much a gamble if they're going to be good or not. Okay, so it has done a little bit of something to my lashes, but I just feel like the eyeliner's kind of like overpowering everything right now, and I still feel like there were a few little clumps on my lashes. It's just kind of hard to get rid of them all, so I want to try that again. I mean, you can see some like kind of length that it has given, and a bit of volume, but it's not done anything too amazing, but it has done a little bit of something. But I definitely want to try that one out without the eyeliner on, definitely. So I did get the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer that I've heard a lot about. It just comes like this. I do have a lot of pores on my face, but I've always found that like pore minimizer things, I've never really felt like they've done a lot for my skin. Like I've never really noticed anything like dramatically different. I mean, I'm not expecting it to work miracles, but if it can help minimize my pores a little bit, then that'd be great. I mean, I tend to have pores just literally all over my face, but obviously right in the kind of normal places that people have them, these parts, my nose, my chin, and I do also get them like in my forehead as well. So I'm basically just going to apply it in all those areas. It just feels like a smooth sort of balm. So let's just go for this and apply it in those areas. Okay, right, I think I put enough of that on. Feels very smooth, very soothing on the skin. I'm not noticing any like huge dramatic difference in my pores. I feel like it has like smoothed them out a little bit. I can obviously still see them on my face, but I mean I'm not expecting it to make my pores disappear. That would just be impossible. But I do feel like it has smoothed them over a bit, maybe made them slightly less prominent, but it's not done anything like miraculous. Maybe it needs a little bit of time to settle on the skin, so I'll let it just sit there for like about 5 minutes before I go on with any more base products. So the foundation that I've got to try is another Topshop product. This is the Topshop Long Wear Liquid Foundation in the shade Meringue, which I'm pretty sure is the lightest shade. But it does have a pump. That's good. We like a pump. Okay. I can't be bothered to wait for the primer anymore. I feel like as it is settling, it perhaps is blurring my skin out a little bit more, which is nice. But again, it's not done anything too drastic. So I'm not sure what the shade of this is like. I'm just going to use it on its own regardless, but it seemed pretty pale, to be fair. I think that will work alright actually. Maybe like a tiny bit dark, but I think I can get away with that colour. Yeah, that should be fine. I would say the undertones are probably more neutral. Yeah, I'd say they're neutral, these undertones. Maybe leaning more towards warm than pink. It's definitely not pink, which is good. We don't like pink around here. So for first impressions, I think the colour's pretty good. I think it looks pretty nice in the skin. There's nothing noticeably, I'm not noticing any issues with it. It's not clinging widely to any areas. Doesn't look dry at all. I would say it's probably more of a radiant foundation. I wouldn't say it's super duper dewy or anything, but I'd say it's more like kind of satin semi-matte. It looks pretty healthy on the skin. It's also got some pretty decent coverage. It's not full coverage, but I would say it's a solid medium, buildable to high medium, definitely. I think it's done a pretty good job. I had this spot here which I can still slightly see, but I feel like it has minimised it quite a lot. I think it looks pretty nice. It's noticeable on the skin. I wouldn't say it's emphasizing my pores, but I wouldn't say it's reducing them either. But it certainly doesn't look lightweight in my opinion, but I think it looks nice enough. I'm happy with it. I think it's a nice foundation, but it's not like completely wowed me or anything, but it looks absolutely fine. So let's add on some more of the Topshop concealer now, which I would say is a pretty similar colour to the foundation. I wouldn't say it's any darker or any lighter, so I can't really brighten or anything, but I can use it to add some more coverage obviously. I don't know if this goes without saying, but the Topshop shade range isn't great. I think the foundation had probably like about 12 shades, and the concealer I think had about 8, so obviously it's not a great shade range. You know, not everyone is going to be able to find something that works for them. And obviously I've gone for the palest ones that were available, and there are people with paler skin than me, so, and it did not look like it went particularly deep either, so. That blends really nicely over the top of foundation. It's definitely added some more coverage, especially under my eyes. I'm noticing that has blanked out my dark circles a lot more. Yeah, I like it. I think these are nice base products. The only really issue with how my skin looks is that it does look quite obvious that there is foundation and like concealer on my face. That's the only kind of thing that I'm noticing is an issue. Maybe there's a little bit of oxidization as well. I feel like it has got a bit darker since I first applied it. So the powder that we have is the Airspun Loose Face Powder. There's like a few different shades. I went for the naturally neutral one, which I think was the lightest one. I don't know. I'm hoping the colour's going to be alright. But I did get this off of Amazon. I think it was about £8, and I'm pretty sure the delivery was free. But again, it's a bit of a long delivery time. I mean, mine said it was going to arrive on the 27th, but it's the 16th today, and I ordered it right at the end of August, so it's taken about 2 weeks to get here, but it could take up to like a month. Okay, so the puff is literally like covered in powder. Oh my god, this is so messy. It's literally just like everywhere. I know a lot of people don't like the smell of this, but I actually think it smells really nice. I don't want to use this puff, but then like there's so much product on the puff that I'm kind of like, should I just maybe use the puff? I don't know. I feel like the colour looks a bit orangey to me, but we'll see how it goes on the face. If I like the finish of it but the colour's off, I'll just try and buy the translucent one and hope that it actually is translucent. A lot of things that say they're translucent are still too dark though. I'm just using brushes to set this. Okay, well my face certainly feels matte now. That has mattified super well. I mean, I think it looks alright, you know, like it's a bit cakey looking, but I kind of think I put quite a lot on because there's like powder everywhere, and I'm trying to use all the powder that's everywhere so that it's not just on my desk. Can't really tell about the colour. I feel like it is a bit like orange, but I mean it's hard to tell because my base products were kind of oxidizing anyway, so I'll have to try it out on some other bases. But I mean it's mattified super well. It doesn't seem to have separated under my eyes. It's not clung weirdly to any areas, which is great, but I feel like it looks pretty noticeable on the skin. But then again, maybe I would apply less next time, just because I did put quite a bit on, but it certainly mattifies well. Yeah, I mean it looks pretty nice. I do feel like I look a bit orange though. I think I would maybe consider getting the translucent one. I don't know, I need to look into it a bit more. Okay, so for bronzer, I've got this guy from Revolution Pro. This is the Revolution Pro 4K bronzer palette in Cool. There is like a warm one as well, but these shades looked a bit more better for my skin. I mean, it's described as cool, but when I'm looking at this, they all look pretty warm to me. I think I'm going to use the shade up here in the top corner. I feel like that one looks like it's the lightest one. And I'm just going to pop a bit of this on. Oh my god, there is a lot of pigmentation on my brush. And that's just going in my cheek and on my forehead. So that's really nice. That's blended out well. It's applied really well. But I just can't really comment much on the colour at the moment, just because my face is looking a bit orangey, so it's not my usual complexion. The formula of this bronzer, very nice. We'll obviously have to try out the other shades in there as well. And try it out on my face is its normal paleness. So I got this highlighter palette from Flower Beauty. So this is the Flower Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette, which I've heard good things about, and they swatched absolutely beautifully. This come with a brush, but I don't think I want to use that brush. So I feel like these two shades definitely should be fine for my skin tone. I don't know, the more like goldy one might show up like with a little bit of like a gold cast to it possibly on my face. But these two look like they should absolutely be fine. I think I'll try out both of those shades. So I'm just getting it on my brush. I'm just going in with the whitey silvery one first. And ooh, wow. I'm gonna pop that on my nose as well. Cupid's bow. It's showing up super pretty. It's really sort of like metallic on the skin almost. And I'm just gonna wipe that off, and I'm gonna try the pink colour on my other cheekbone. This might look a bit weird, but I already look a bit weird. Right, so I'm going in with the pink one on this side. Again, that's pretty. I feel like there's a tiny bit of a cast there. I don't know, I can't really tell. I think my base is a bit darker right now. Maybe that will show up more when my skin's lighter. But it's super pretty. Even then I can still use it as like eyeshadow or whatever. Or blush. Even that pink shade could be a shimmery blush. And I'm just going to put the white one up here. Well, I do think the quality of that highlighter is absolutely stunning. It looks shiny on the face. It sits on the skin nicely. Super pigmented. I just don't know about the colour options. I've got no issues with this shade. That one's absolutely fine on my skin tone. This one I'm on the fence about. I need to try it when my skin's not as orange as it is. This one I just don't think I could make work, but I could use it as like an eyeshadow or something. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this. This seems like a really good quality highlighter palette. It's also just got like such a like smooth buttery texture when you put your finger in it. So I feel like you could just very easily apply your highlighter with your finger with this palette. It looks a bit too much now on my nose. I did get an eyebrow product from Topshop. This is the Topshop Brow Definer in the shade Charm, which I think was the second darkest shade. I think there was like a black one as well after this, which I could have gone for, but I thought I would just stick with the second darkest. I love me a good brow gel, so if this is good, then that will be great, because I do struggle to find ones that just meet my criteria. But it's got a really thin wand, but it is quite long, so I'm going to have to be careful with this, but it is very thin. I'm just going to wipe off any excess. There doesn't seem to be too much excess. Sometimes I'll have like a whole hand full of bloody brow gel, which I'm not getting with this, which is good. So I'm just going to apply this. I want to be careful because it's quite long. Even though it's thin, which is great, it's still quite long, which might give me some difficulties. Always chop it in half. It does take a little bit of time. I still feel like I wish the wand was like slightly shorter. I mean, I could always get my scissors to it, but I don't know, that could be risky. Like it seems to have done a decent job. I don't feel like it's really splodgy and a mess, but I do want to add a bit like a pencil just to my arch. You can't really define your arch very well with it because of the shape. But that's fine, because I normally use a pencil to define my arch anyway when I use a gel. I'm just trying to find a pencil here because I haven't got a new one. I'm just going to use the Revolution Pro one that I tried in my last one of my latest first impressions. I'm just going to use this to define the arch a bit more. Okay, that looks fine now. I feel like calling it a brow definer is not a great way to describe it, because I don't feel like you get much definition from it. Like, I personally wouldn't want to use a pencil with it, but I think it has filled in the brows well. It didn't seem to splodge up or anything, so I do think it's a decent brow gel, but it's not the best I've found. The best I've found is the Benefit Gimme Brows and the e.l.f. Brow Wow, which I happen to have on me. Those are two of my favourites. I wouldn't put it up there, but I think it's not bad. I'll have to keep using that. So I'm going to use the white silvery shade from the Flower Beauty highlighting palette, and I'm just going to pop that in the inner corner of my eyes. Ooh, that looks nice. Oh, that looks stunning in my inner corner. I'm going to put a bit under my brow as well. So back to the Turkish Delight palette. I'm using the matte pink called Roses again. And just putting that on the lower lash line. And again, I'm putting pomegranate closer to the lash line with a smudgy brush. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with Gosh Catchy Eyes on my bottom lashes. If it wasn't for the liquid liner, I feel like I'd be really happy with this eye look, but it's kind of ruined it for me. But the mascaras work pretty well on the bottom lashes. So last product I've got to try out. So I've got another one of the Revolution Pro lipsticks that come with this packaging. So I tried the shade called Stripped in my Testing Revolution video, but now I've got the shade called Cashmere to try. So Stripped was more of a pinky nude. This is more of a brownie nude. I liked the formula from First Impressions. So let's see what this colour is like. So I feel like this colour is a bit more to my taste. I think I generally prefer more brownie nudes than I do pinky nudes. So I really like this colour. And again, it glides on really smoothly. It's super creamy, super pigmented. Just kind of my ideal lip product, really. I really like it. Just gonna fix my hair. I'll be right there. Can't really be bothered to do anything with my hair. So this is the finished look. So what did I think of all of the products? So my favourite products today, I definitely have to say the eyeshadow palette. I'm like super impressed with this. All of the shades that I've used today, like amazing. Like I actually, if it wasn't for the liquid liner, I'd be really happy with this eyeshadow look. I think that the pressed glitters I was a bit worried about, but honestly the one that I've used today was super easy to apply. It wasn't like bitty, like it came out like really opaque and like it's not like really chunky, if you get what I mean. Like it's just gone on like really well. Sometimes I find like with glitters you'll get like a really bad like cracks. Like there was like a tiny bit of a line, but nothing major, so that's nice. Yeah, I'm super impressed with this. I think this is my favourite Revolution palette that I've tried this month. I'm really impressed with the quality of this. Lip product I think is really nice. Mascara I need to play around with more. I think it has like lengthened quite well, but I need to try it without the liquid liner. The liquid liner I'm not so sure about. I'll need to keep playing with it, but I definitely made a huge mess of this liquid liner today. It's definitely the type of liner that kind of gets into your eyelashes, which is a little bit annoying for me personally. But I think the colour payoff's pretty good. Highlighter I think is stunning. The formula of the bronzing palette from Revolution Pro seems really good, but I'll have to see what the colours are like when I've not got like a bit of an oxidised base. I thought the eyebrow gel worked reasonably well, but again it's a type of gel where I personally would want to use a pencil with it just to get a bit more definition, but I think the initial gel is pretty decent. I think the foundation and the concealer were both pretty nice, but they're not anything extraordinary, but I'm gonna have to keep trying them. And I think I would really like this powder if it wasn't for the colour, because I do feel like it has oxidised my base and I do feel like I look orangey. So if it wasn't for the colour issue, I think I'd quite like it because it didn't separate under my eyes or look patchy or anything like that, and it certainly mattifies your face really well. And I actually quite like the smell, but it's definitely noticeable on the face. I can tell that like there's quite a bit of powder on. I would probably apply less of it in the future. And I don't know about this primer. Like I feel like it does smooth out my pores a little bit, but again it's just not done anything like extraordinary in my opinion. Yeah, I think overall we've found some pretty decent products here. I will go into more thoughts and more details on these products in it's going to be my August/September makeup recap. I've actually got so many makeup products that are going to be in that video because I've done 3 first impressions this month, and then I did 1 first impression last month, and then I did testing Heart and Beauty last month. So that's 5 lots of makeup plus some of the stuff in my last cohorted. It's just going to be a really beefy video, and that's probably going to be out. That will probably come out towards the end of October. Yeah, this is not the last you will hear of these products. I'm going to be trying them out for the rest of this month and some of October. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.